Hey everybody, Christy and I are in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and we are taking on Mount LeConte via the Alum Cave Trail. Should be an interesting hike, so I hope you stick around. Okay, it is October 1st, probably in the 40s. We are in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and we are heading up to Mount LeConte, starting early, obviously before sunrise, so a little bit of night hiking, early morning hiking, I guess you could say, technically. I'm not going to be able to see a whole lot of the trail until the sun comes up here in about an hour, but we will catch video of this portion of the Alum Cave Trail to the summit of Mount LeConte on our way back down. Okay, we have made it to Arch Rock, which is about 1.43 miles into the hike, and sorry, but it's still a little dark. This may not show up. We'll have to take a video of it when we come back down. Try to give you a nighttime perspective of the rock. Basically just a cave. They have these little steel cables to hold on to if you need it. A lot of steps to climb, pretty steep. And then the stairs continue on. The view down, and there's Christy coming up through the rock. We made it through the about 75 steps through Arch Rock and continuing on up. I'm not sure how much you can see of me. Certain portions, the trail lightens up, or have decent lighting for film, but still in and out of good lighting. We don't need our headlamps now. It's light enough for us to see. 1.5 miles in. Yeah, it's nice to have the trail to ourselves, but we also miss out on a few early views when we're hiking in the dark, but we will catch them on the back end of this out and back hike up to Mount LeConte and then on to Myrtle Point and Clifftops. All right, 1.8 miles in and starting to see sunrise over the mountains. Now this portion of the trail all the way up to Alum Cave, which is basically a bluff. It's not a typical cave like you would think of. It's just a big rock overhang, but it's very popular hike up to that point. LeConte is popular too, but you also get a lot of day hikers who just want to go to the bluff and back. And that's roughly halfway up to the summit of Mount LeConte. So it's nice to get out here early to beat a lot of the day hiking traffic on the way up. And 2 miles in, here's what you get. All right, here at about 2.25 miles, and now you can really see the eye of the needle a lot better. And this is about 2.25 miles, about 1/4 mile past the I think it's called Inspiration Point, where you see all the nice mountain views, panoramic views. A lot of people miss this on the way up and down the mountain. Okay, now we're on the massive stairs to Alum Cave Bluff. You're gonna be breathing heavy, a lot of stairs. We're now 155 steps up to the bluff. And the trail continues up that way. Not all the way up. You'll see a trail marker halfway up on the left. And right there is the little mountaintop with the eye of the needle. We can't see the eye because of our angle. See how high up it is. Christy is making her way up the steep, slippery, sandy slopes. All right, about 2.7 miles to the summit of LeConte. And here's a view of the bluff. Okay, about 2.8 miles in, you will hit a little summit of a small mountain, and you'll go downhill for a little while, and then it'll be back up. But the views are pretty good. One thing is, it's pretty narrow, certain areas of the trail, so it's tough to pass. So just be kind to other hikers and try to be patient, find a spot to step aside for everybody coming uphill. All right, 3.63 miles in, and the last roughly half a mile has been a steep uphill, and it's continuing. This portion, I believe, is one of the steeper ones on the trail, and you'll feel it, but just put one foot in front of the other and you'll eventually get there. Steep, wet, rocky, but check out the view. Never get tired of those views. And just a rocky mountainside trail. We are 4.5 miles in, but the views are spectacular. Whoa. Christy really liked that view. Or she about fell off the mountain, one or the other.
Yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Paul Priest.
Angie.
Paul, Angie, nice to meet you. We met them on the way down. Did you stay at the lodge last night?
We did indeed.
So I did
I'm glad I did because I don't want to do up and down the same.
Well, unfortunately, we're going up and down. We stayed last year. It's great, isn't it?
It is great. I live by my own hike, and my own hike is slow.
Well, hey,
all right.
hey,
That's
that's
the
right.
best way.
They said supposed to saunter in the woods and not necessarily hike. Hey, that's great.
Like a salter is the word.
Yeah. Well, nice to meet you, and you have a great trip down.
Can't
You
wait
all
to
have
subscribe to
a
your
Oh,
channel.
thanks.
Y'all have a great
Hey,
day.
have a good day.
Be safe.
You all too.
Okay, and we are, let's see, we are 4.53 miles in, and you come to this. It's very steep, very narrow here, but man, the views, and the video doesn't really do it justice. There is a cable here that you can hold on to when you walk across. But man, when you get out here and see these views, check that out. Doesn't get much better. As you can see, we are 4.77 miles in, and we still have quite a bit more up to go. Very narrow here. Okay, and here's a real narrow ledge you go around, and you often see people standing here taking pictures of that in the background, which I'm sure we will partake in here in just a moment. You can see, very, very narrow and steep. Okay, here's the junction for Rainbow Falls Trail, the LeConte Lodge. It's 1/10 of a mile that way, and Bullhead Trail is 4/10. So this way. It's one we want to do possibly next time. Is we do this mountain is up Rainbow and down Bullhead. So we chose this one because we haven't done a video on it. You know, we have done this trail, the Alum Cave Trail, before. Okay, you'll cross this bridge here and you'll see a little trail there. That's not the main entrance to the lodge, but there are bathrooms there. We're going to show you the main iconic view that you see when you go down to LeConte Lodge. Up here at LeConte Lodge, they do have potable water and restrooms. Now they've got some private restrooms for people who are staying at the lodge. They are a little nicer than the public ones. And when I say restrooms, I mean pit toilets. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Okay, right there's where we will go down to LeConte Lodge. But here is one of the epic views for sunset, Clifftops. We will do that before we leave. It's only about 2 to 3/10 of a mile up that steep hill. And then after we hit the lodge, we will continue on to the summit of LeConte and then on to Myrtle Point past that for some hopefully decent views. Welcome to LeConte Lodge. And when we were here last time, we stayed in this lodge. LeConte Lodge, elevation 6593, October 1st, 2021. Okay, here are the public restrooms, and there are the private ones. Now this is inside the dining hall. It is closed for COVID. And sack lunches are available from 12 to 4:30 today. Okay, heading up to hit the trail and go towards the summit. The lodge is not at the summit. The actual summit is up here to the left. And then we will continue on to Myrtle Point. Okay, all the different trails, Boulevard Trail, the LeConte shelter, 2/10 of a mile up here. It is close to the summit. And if you don't want to stay at the lodge, you can get a permit to stay at the shelter. Now here's another way you can get to Clifftops from on your way back from Myrtle Point. 3/10 of a mile that way if you want to bypass the lodge. And there is the shelter. Let me show you. The luxurious accommodations of the shelter. There are some nice bear lines here. .12 miles into our hike, the beauty of Mount LeConte continues. The mountain that keeps on giving. I think over there is Myrtle Point. We'll see. And finally, 6.2 miles in, one of the most anticlimactic summits of all time. There it is. The actual summit of Mount LeConte. And tradition to add a rock on top of the cairn to make the mountain higher. And the Myrtle Point Trail continues that way. About 2/10 of a mile. This is the Boulevard Trail. And the Appalachian Trail is 4.6 miles that way. You can also get the Newfound Gap in about 7 miles or so that way. So if you want your 900 in the Smokies, eventually you're going to have to hike that trail. As you see, the trail to Myrtle Point is not always smooth. Some large steps of rocks and roots, but the views, if it's clear, are very good. Welcome to Mount LeConte. The Smoky Mountains welcomes you. See the color in the trees off in the distance. And here we are, Myrtle Point. Okay, off in the distance is Klingman's Dome.
No, where is it? Oh.
One of the neat things about this elevation are the ferns, you know, the trees. It's really cool, moist feeling. Interesting. It's just the best way I can say it. The smells, the sights, the sounds. Actually, there's not much sound here. You can actually hear your ears ringing. It's so quiet. All right, we've met some really cool people out here so far. A couple, as you will see on the video, actually talked to us on camera, and then some others out at Myrtle Point. Shout out to them if they're watching. You leave us a comment. I didn't get your names. I apologize. They were super nice from Ohio. One actually graduated. I got their master's degree from the University of Akron. Go Zips. It's where our kids are going to school. So you really meet some super nice people out here on the trail. And up here on the mountaintops, nice lush forest. It's not all cliffs and, you know, drop-offs. Very pretty up through here. Certain points you feel like an enchanted forest. All right, 7.36 miles, and we are back heading down to the lodge. And that is the gift shop.
We stayed in that bedroom right there.
Yeah, we stayed in that bedroom right there last time. And now it's on to Clifftops to eat our sack lunch. Just past the lodge is the trailhead to Clifftops. About 2/10 of a mile. Uphill rocky terrain. Beautiful views facing towards the Gatlinburg area. And hopefully there are places for us to sit up there and eat lunch. We will see. And here we are approaching Clifftops. Epic views. Nice cool breeze. Off in the distance, right there is Klingman's Dome, the highest point in the Smokies. And there's Crazy Kristen. And if she keeps it up, we won't be celebrating our 28th anniversary. Not a bad place to spend your 27th wedding anniversary.
Actually, I kind of like it.
Over there is Gatlinburg.
You know, being good was I passed me on the way down. I was going up and they were coming down.
I see the cloud cover coming in. Okay, right here We'll come to a junction. That one will go back towards the shelter. And this way heads back down towards the lodge. So you go left towards the lodge, right towards the shelter. To make a little loop, we're heading back towards the lodge to get some water and then head back down the mountain. And to show you how steep that is, there's Christy about 10 yards away. A little rocky, a little steep, but the views are well worth it. And right there is a white-tailed deer.
This is where we saw one last time.
We saw one here last time. We were here close to the lodge. Okay, we are bidding adieu to LeConte Lodge today. We got our t-shirts. So, happy anniversary, honey.
Thank you. Happy anniversary to you too.
27 years of marriage bliss. And for our anniversary, Christy got what she wanted, a t-shirt. We only had to hike 6,593 feet up to get it. Several miles, but hey, she wanted the t-shirt. I chose where we got it, so I guess it's an even trade-off.
I didn't want any t-shirt. I wanted this.
She said, I didn't want just any t-shirt, I wanted this one. So happy anniversary. And it's been a good one so far. Clouds are starting to roll in a little bit at the lodge, so we are going to hopefully beat some cloud cover. Now here's where you would actually split off, and you could take Rainbow Falls Trail that way, but we're going to the Alum Cave Trail this way. Look up at the sheer rock cliffs on Mount LeConte. Look, squirrel, look. Squirrel. Little baby one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hi there, Mr. Squirrel.
Where's your little chip? Oh, it's a squirrel.
All right, we're not stealing your food.
He's tiny.
He's a small squirrel.
Did your mommy know you're out all alone?
Okay, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and we're on our way down. We spent a lot of time up there on the mountain, over 3 hours just checking things out, relaxing, and it takes a lot of time to do some video along the way as well. But we're still seeing people on their way up now and they're not spending the night, and they're wondering if they're going to have enough time to get up there and get back. And they're resting about 2 miles away from the summit, or from the lodge actually. I'll give you a little bit of advice. Take off a little earlier than noon, especially in the fall with the sun sets really early. Some of these people aren't necessarily prepared for it. They're asking and wondering if they can make it up and back in a couple of hours. So Maybe they can, but there's no way we could. So just something to consider when you're going up. You know, try to leave early. That way when you get up there, you can see everything. And it's not just the lodge. The lodge is just a place to stay and get water. It's the surrounding trails that make LeConte worth it. And one more thing, forgot to mention, if you're going up late, please take a headlamp. A lot of people we've seen who are planning on going up and down this late don't have headlamps. They might have a little bit of water in a pack, but nothing to light their way for the trek down. So just a couple words of advice. Okay, 10.5 miles into the hike, and here we go. Should be mostly downhill from here. We just finished that last little up. Okay, here we are back at the bluff. 10.8 mile day so far. And now a couple more miles to go. This is about the halfway point down. You can see it's steep and slick. All right, these stairs from the bluff work your lungs on the way up and your knees, feet, and hips on the way down. All right, back down at Inspiration Point. The eye of the needle over there. Okay, I think from mostly this point on, you'll see things you didn't see earlier this morning. Beautiful cascading waterfalls. So like I said, from this point on, you'll start seeing things that you couldn't see this morning because it was too dark when we took off. Okay. Here is Arch Rock, and when we came up this morning, it was pretty dark, so you couldn't really see what the arch was all about or much of it. So a little better now. And you can see down into the arch. So a lot of stairs, steep, and right now they are a little on the slick side, a little moist. So I apologize if the video is bouncing. I'm trying to hold on to the railing as I go through in case the stairs are slick. And this, which you just saw, is about our 12-mile mark for the day. And this portion of the path is actually not too bad going up or going down. A little more level than most of the trail. Okay, we think the final leg of the hike. And where we started at 6:30 this morning. Make sure when you come to do this, you come prepared. You have water, food, a headlamp in case you get caught up there after dark. You're going to want it. It's going to be a rough walk down without one. And take your time. Enjoy the sights. You don't get to do this very often. So when you do something like Mount LeConte, make sure that you spend time up there and enjoy yourself.
The Alum Cave Trail, located in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, is one of 5 trails which leads to the summit of the park's 3rd highest mountain and arguably the crown jewel of the Smokies, Mount LeConte. Now, the Alum Cave Trail is the shortest but steepest of the routes to LeConte's summit. However, it is one of the most popular trails due to scenic attractions like Arch Rock, Inspiration Point, the Eye of the Needle, and its namesake, the Alum Cave Bluff. Alum Cave Bluff is not a cave by conventional standards. It is a large 80-foot tall rock overhang on the side of the mountain. There are 155 steps which lead directly to the bluff, and this is the stopping point for most hikers who tackle this trail. The bluff is less than halfway up the mountainside, and for those more adventurous souls willing to continue on and tackle the steepest portion of the trail upward towards the mountain summit, some narrow ledges, rocky terrain, and epic views await. Near the top of the mountain, the trail finally begins to level off, and you will soon be standing at the entrance to the iconic LeConte Lodge. Now, accommodations to this rustic retreat on the mountain fill up months in advance, but they do offer a gift shop, potable water, and a restroom for day hikers. The lodge and the rock-covered summit are a couple of the main attractions on the mountain, but they don't offer the best views. For the best views, many hikers continue hiking about a mile easterly onto Myrtle Point. The views from the point are stunning during the day, but this is a prime stop as a sunrise destination for those fortunate enough to stay on the mountaintop overnight. After hitting Myrtle Point, it was time to head back past the lodge and check out nearby Clifftops. Arguably providing some of the best views on the mountaintop, this destination is the prime spot for catching amazing sunsets over the Smokies. It doesn't matter how you tackle this mountain, whether it is an overnight stay at LeConte Lodge, a camping trip to the shelter near the summit, or a long out and back day hike to check out the sights. The Alum Cave Trail to the summit of Mount LeConte is a nice little walk in the woods.